Again, good evening. I'm Sandy Lewis. I'm General Counsel for Greater Clark County Schools, and it's my pleasure to serve as the Master of Ceremonies for this evening's very special event. I want to thank the Greater Clark Educational Foundation for hosting our first annual Champions for Children's celebration. Tonight we gather to celebrate excellence. Excellence through innovation, excitement, and enthusiasm in teaching, and excitement in the demonstration of Greater Clark Schools' motto, bridging excellence and opportunities. We are here to honor support service staff members and certified staff members who have made an outstanding contribution to their school, students, and the district. A program outlining tonight's Champions for Children celebration is at your seat location. We will begin with an invocation by Jerry White, Vice President of the Greater Clark Board of School Trustees. Then dinner will be served. We will have members of our cabinet level help with the dismissal for the buffet. So if you'll remain in your seats when dinner is announced, we will have people come around and invite you to go to the buffet. We're going to start over on this side of the room and move toward the buffet. Just be patient. We'll get everybody through. After that, we will have Eric Ballinger, who is the chairman of Greater Clark's Educational Foundation, come forward and recognize the sponsors for this evening's event. And then we'll have the award presentation for Support Service Employees of the Year, and then for our certified employees. A closing message will be presented by Dr. Mellon, Greater Clark's Superintendent of Schools. My job this evening, which is fun, is to keep this event moving in a timely manner. So without further ado, I will ask Jerry White to come forward to provide our invocation. Thank you.
Good evening. If you would, please bow your heads for prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you. Thank you for all these fine people that are here tonight and for all the commitments that they have made to our children, to educate them, to bring them up as responsible adults, to go out into the world and succeed. Not only those that are here tonight and the ones we're going to honor tonight, but all of our employees with Greater Clark. They're all excellent people, and we are very blessed to have them. We would just ask that you would continue to support us and would bless us with safe travels when we leave tonight. As we break bread together and celebrate these people, we would ask that you would bless the food and bless our time together. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Okay, now we're going to begin the dinner process. So if I can ask the cabinet level members to begin the seating dismissal for the buffet line, we'll get that process underway. Thank you. Please enjoy your evening. Talk amongst yourselves while you're waiting in your turn for the table. As I began the evening, I said that this event was twofold. We are celebrating our fantastic staff, plus we're raising funds for the district's ACT testing initiative, which is sponsored by the Greater Clark Education Foundation. And at this time, I want you to please welcome the Education Foundation's chairman, Mr. Eric Ballinger, and he will further explain the initiative and recognize the event sponsors.
My voice is a little deeper, so I think you'll be able to hear me a little bit better than Sandy. So, I didn't know I was recognizing the sponsors, so I'd like to direct you to the back page of the program and point out a few things. The main sponsor, Your Community Bank, and then our corporate sponsors, FAL, Clark Memorial Hospital, and the Clark County Sheriff's Office. Our table sponsors, I won't go through there, but I noticed that they're either really nice people that want your vote, or people that want your business. So read through that and make sure you do one of those 2 or 3 or whatever. So I'm here to talk to you about the foundation and let you know what we're about. It's not only going to take about 2 or 3 minutes, don't get nervous. But our core purpose is the same as your core purpose, and that is to improve the learning situation of every kid in every school. We just go about it a little bit different because we collaborate with the district leadership to incorporate input from the business community and civic-minded people alike to try to help do that. Greater Clark partnered with ACT about 4 years ago. We're in our 4th year of this project. And if you guys teach anywhere from 8th grade on up, you know that Greater Clark, there's a series of tests that ACT devised, and that helps you guys as teachers identify the students that might need some intervention and need some help, because our goal, all of us in this room, is to get children to the next stage, whether it's going to college or getting ready for a career. And that initiative takes money. It's about a $70,000 a year project for us. So we are busy as a foundation board trying to raise money through this venue, which is the first one we've had, and I think it's really going to be a success. And then our golf outing, which is on October 6th. So if you get something in the mail about a golf outing, we have a lot of fun. We moved it to the fall so the weather's not so hot, and we have a blast out there. And all of this is to try to raise money to extend this ACT initiative. I would be remiss, I do it every golf outing, but I'm not going to do it this time, and that is to thank the single hardest working person on the foundation board, and she's not even on the foundation board, and that's Erin Bajorquez. She deserves more than just a round of applause, but we don't have any money or anything to give her, so we'll just give her a round of applause. But she does amazing work on the other stuff, plus our foundation work too, so thank you very much. With that, back to Sandy.
I also want to thank Erin for all her hard work. She pretty much single-handedly put this event together. Everything from planning the program, planning the menu, locating the facility, securing most of the sponsors. So, Erin, thank you. You have done a wonderful job. We're very appreciative. We established the Support Services Employee of the Year Award to be presented to a classified staff member who has made an outstanding contribution to the school, students, district, and community. Travis Hare, Greater Clark's Assistant Superintendent, will introduce this year's building winners individually. And when you are introduced, please come forward when your name and background information is being read, and then remain up front after receiving your award until the Support Services Employee of the Year is named. So kind of have the area right up in this area. I know Dr. Mellon will help give you some directions. We're going to plan for a photo opportunity with each individual, so bear with us and we'll move on. And then after we have named all of the persons that have been named by building as our support services employees, then Mr. Mark Pavey, Greater Clark's Board of School Trustees President, will announce this year's Support Service Employee of the Year winner, who will be one of the persons that was named by an individual building, and will be presented with a $500 cash award, which is pretty exciting. So, Travis, it's up to you.
Great. It's truly an honor to recognize the Support Service Employees of the Year. We'll go ahead and get started with the Administration Building. The Administration Building is Renee Markowski. Come on up this way, Renee. Renee is the Executive Assistant to the Superintendent and has been employed for 9 years with Greater Clark. Renee is very energetic, caring, a dedicated employee who approaches her position with a positive spirit on a daily basis. She is always looking for ways to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of the superintendent's office and takes the initiative to accomplish tasks and does so with great quality. Renee Markowski. Auxiliary Services, Kelly Harbin. Kelly's a laborer, and he's been employed with Greater Clark for 30 years. Kelly has shown his commitment to the district this year by completing many hours taking care of the school grounds and parking lots during the treacherous winters. Kelly may be the only guy that gets up before I do on snow days. Every time I call Steve Hobgood and say, Steve, we need to start plowing, he said, Kelly's been there for an hour. So thanks, Kelly. Bridgepoint Elementary, Mr. Robin Bryant. Robin's been an employee for 35 years with Greater Clark County Schools. Robin not only keeps Bridgepoint in ship-shape condition, he has been known to make a daily phone call to a student whose mom worked third shift and wasn't home there to wake up the young student. He also gives daily pep talks to students when they are having a bad day or struggling with schoolwork. He always goes above and beyond, Mr. Robin Bryant. Charlestown High School is next. Charlestown High School, Ms. Sharon Coots. Sharon is the Media Center Assistant. She's worked for Greater Clark for 32 years. Sharon is a professional who displays enthusiasm every day. Her knowledge, willingness to assist others, and polite disposition makes the Media Center an inviting place for the entire school community. Ms. Sharon Coots. Charlestown Middle School, Linda Whitlock is next. Linda is a special education paraeducator. She's been employed for 16 years. Linda is a self-starter and will take the initiative to lead small groups and provide positive support for the students in her group. Linda is able to identify when a special needs student is escalating and provides them with redirection or activities. She always has a smile on her face, and the students absolutely love Miss Linda Whitlock. Corden Porter, Leslie Kelly. Leslie is the administrative assistant. She's been employed for 10 years with Greater Clark. Leslie wears many hats at Corden Porter. She is not only the administrative assistant, but also the nurse, treasurer, lunch lady, manager, and more. You know you're owed when she's a former student, right? She is always friendly and patient, and most importantly, willing to help. Leslie Kelly. Jeffersonville High School is next. Mr. William Thornton. William is a custodian. He's been employed for 26 years. William is an invaluable to Jeffersonville High School. 28? Whatever you say, Chief. That's why you're in charge. He's invaluable at Jeffersonville High School. He's dependable, trustworthy, always positive, always has a smile on his face. He troubleshoots problems and answers calls a lot of times even before they happen. In the middle of the night or whenever his help is needed, William is always there. William Thornton, Jeffersonville High School. Jonathan Jennings Elementary, Sammy Martin is next. Sammy's a custodian. He's been employed for 33 years with Greater Clark. Sammy's love for Jonathan Jennings is evident in every act of service he provides to the staff, students, and community. He knows every student by name and genuinely cares about them. He works diligently to provide a clean and positive school environment, and if you ever need a fishing buddy, he's your man. Sammy Martin. Maple Elementary is next. Kim Denny Harbin. Kim is the media clerk at Maple. She's been employed for 13 years. Kim is always upbeat and conscientious. She's dependable and loving to all the students and their families. She has a no problem is too big or too small attitude. Her outlook is incredible, and there's no such thing as saying it's not my job in her vocabulary. Miss Kim Denny Harbin. New Washington Elementary, Kim Stamper is next. Kim is a paraeducator. She's been employed 7 years. She is a dedicated kindergarten assistant with an outstanding rapport with students, staff, and parents. She arrives with a smile on her face, and it is a pleasure to work with her, as she would do anything for their students. Kim Stanford. New Washington Middle High School, Debbie Franklin is next. Debbie's a paraeducator. She's worked for Greater Clark for 26 years. She works in the computer lab and assists with online state-required assessments. She provides technical and operating advice on software and apps for students. She's always pleasant when assisting with the computer lab issues and classes. Debbie Franklin. North Haven Elementary is next. Janie Eisen. Jane is a paraeducator. She's worked for 8 years with Greater Clark. She's just an absolute wonderful addition to North Haven. She helps the students each and every day. She organizes groups, focuses students, and tutors before and after school. Janie Eisen. Parkview Middle School is next. Wendy Gallagher. Wendy is the office secretary. She's worked for 9 years with Greater Clark. Wendy is extremely caring, supportive, and nurturing to the Parkview students. She works to get things very done quickly and efficiently, and will volunteer to take on other responsibilities. Wendy Gallagher, Parkview Middle School. Parkwood Elementary, Mr. Larry Ponzi. Larry is an English as a second language tutor. He's been employed for 8 years, and on a daily basis, Larry goes above and beyond what is expected. With the growing Hispanic population, Larry will translate all parent communication and also works one-on-one with small groups of students to help develop their language skills. He is more than willing to advise teachers to assist EL students and is truly dedicated to the population. Mr. Larry Ponzi, Parkwood Elementary. Pleasant Ridge Elementary, Robbie Nelson. Robbie's a custodian. He's been employed for 19 years. Robbie works tirelessly for his Pleasant Ridge family, and he does this with a smile and a song. The kids know him as SpongeBob, and they love to bring him in singing his biscuit song. It's truly a pleasure seeing the joy that he brings to all of the students at Pleasant Ridge, Mr. Robbie Nelson. River Valley Middle School is next, Miss Cindy Munenhoff. Cindy's the office secretary. She's worked with Greater Clark for 16 years, and I promised her I wouldn't tell any stories because she knows more on me. Cindy's a very conscientious and dependable employee who completes all tasks in a timely and professional manner. She is truly a team player and is always willing to go above and beyond to make sure the school's front office runs in an organized and very efficient manner. Ms. Cindy Munenhoff. Riverside Elementary, Ms. Donna Price. Donna's a paraeducator. She's been employed with Greater Clark for 18 years. She does an amazing job in the building, and she's truly an amazing force and is willing to help every child in any situation. She often uses her own money to purchase rewards, treats, or supplies for students, and works with families that may need a little extra help financially. It is truly her dedication that brings her to represent Riverside Elementary, Ms. Donna Price. The Service Center is next. Mary Kathy Russell. Kathy is a bus driver, and she's worked for 11 years. She is truly a dedicated employee who is quick to volunteer to help with any transportation issue or need that arises. She is very loving and often refers to the students on her bus as her babies. Mary Kathy Russell, the Service Center. Spring Hill Elementary, Mr. James Kraft. James is a custodian. He's worked for 15 years with the district. James epitomizes the term gentleman and faithful worker. His willingness to go above and beyond the call of duty is displayed every day, and he will assist teachers in creating different instructional tools for their classroom and is truly dedicated to the students at Spring Hill Elementary, Mr. James Kraft. Thomas Jefferson Elementary, Ms. Sharon Minio is next. Sharon is the school administrative manager, also known as a SAM, in the elementary schools. She's worked for 11 years with the district. Sharon begins her day early and stays up until the job is done, which is usually late each day. One of her best qualities is her positive attitude. Her work ethic is amazing, and she is truly a great role model for all of the Thomas Jefferson Tigers. Ms. Sharon Minio. Utica Elementary, Miss Allison Bell is next. Allison is the office assistant. She's worked with Greater Clark for 13 years. She is a wonderful asset to Utica. She is wonderful with the students, always kind and very supportive, but she will also push them to do their best. She has taken on several additional roles this school year and has learned them very quickly to provide top-notch support to the students at Utica Elementary, Miss Allison Bell. Wilson Elementary, certainly not last but not least, Cindy Nolan. Cindy is a paraeducator. She's worked with the district for 6 years. She works daily with Wilson's kindergarten and first grade students, implementing guided reading groups. She takes extra time outside of her contract day to plan lessons for each of these groups and uses her own resources to carry out her plans. She believes all children can learn and has impacted the lives of many Wilson students. Cindy Nolan.
Before we announce the Support Service Individual of the Year, let's have another round of applause for all of our support workers. And now Mr. Mark Pavey, the President of the Greater Clark Board of School Trustees, will announce our Support Service Winner of the Year.
Well, good evening. What I do want to talk about is the longevity of this group of folks. I mean, it is incredible, the number of our years of service. So very proud of everyone up here and everyone in the audience for that matter. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I have the distinct honor tonight to talk about the Support Services Employee of the Year. Greater Clark County Schools Support Services Employee of the Year has dedicated 33 years of his life to the district and exemplifies our motto, Bridging Excellence and Opportunities. His official title is custodian, but he is much more than a custodian to Jonathan Jennings Elementary. Sammy Martin is a true champion for children, and his love for Jonathan Jennings Elementary and its students and staff is evident in every act of service he provides. Sammy never needs supervision or prompting to do the right thing. He will come in early, stay late, or report on the weekends if necessary to make sure the building is ready for kids. His role enhances the teacher's ability to provide excellent instruction to students. He is a role model in the Charlestown community and is known by everyone and respected by all. His contribution to Jonathan Jennings Elementary and Greater Clark County Schools is immeasurable. Congratulations to 2014 Support Services Employee of the Year, Sammy Martin from Jonathan Jennings.
Okay, congratulations to every one of our winners, and if you all will be seated, we'll move on to our Teacher of the Year award winners. The Greater Clark County Schools Teacher of the Year Award is designed to recognize, reward, and renew the importance and contributions of the teaching profession in public schools. Kim Hartledge, our Executive Director of Elementary Education, will introduce this year's building winners individually. And again, we'll ask that you come forward and remain with us up front until we have recognized everyone and until we announce our Teacher of the Year. And then Mr. Mark Pavey will again introduce and announce the overall Teacher of the Year, and that individual will be honored at the WHAS 11 Excel Award as their winner next week. So this winner will also be presented with a plaque and a $500 cash award. So at this time, Kim Hartledge. Thank you.
Good evening. It is truly an honor to be here tonight with champions of children. And as I sat down here and watched our classified folks, it was amazing the number of tears because we are not accustomed to taking that recognition for ourselves. You truly, this room is full of people who have devoted your life to motivating and supporting children and molding those hearts and minds. And you truly are just an incredible group of people and the amazing things that you do every day. So thank you very much. The first person from the administration building is Karen Spencer. Karen is that go-to gal for pretty much every one of us sitting in this room. She is the supervisor of assessment, employed for 35 years. Karen works tirelessly to ensure the corporation's assessment programs are managed appropriately and provides endless support to school leaders and staff. Bridgepoint Elementary, Kathy Gruninger. Kathy is the art teacher. She has been employed for 24 years. Kathy has a passion for art and instills the love of art in students. She always fills Bridgepoint's hallways, cafeteria, and office area with student artwork. She enters student work in various community art contests, which keeps the school connected with community organizations. Charlestown High School, Barbara Berry. Barbara is an English teacher. She has been employed for 39 years. Barbara is very professional and creates an atmosphere in her classroom to serve excellence. She has high expectations of her students and encourages students to achieve their absolute best. She has served as department chairperson, union representative, and her heart is for the teachers and students. Charlestown Middle School, April Smith. April is a math teacher. She's been employed for 14 years. April is committed to Charlestown Middle School and is respected by all for her positive attitude and work on a daily basis. She excels at working with difficult students, and it shows in their amazing success on state assessments. Clark County Middle High, Renee Stock. Renee is a teacher in grades 6 through 8. She has been employed for 12 years. Renee has been a key stakeholder in the redevelopment of the middle school alternative program. She excels at building relationships with challenging students. She goes above and beyond the requirements of her position to ensure that all students feel accepted and welcomed into the alternative program. Corden Porter School. We'd like to recognize Jennifer Goodlett, but Jennifer is ill tonight, so Miss Laura Morris will accept her award on her behalf tonight. Jennifer is a special education teacher. She has been employed for 5 years. Jennifer is a model in regard to instruction that matches her students' emotional and academic learning needs. She effectively uses structure, routine, and consistency, and uses strategies that bring out the best of each student. So congratulations to Jennifer. Jeffersonville High School, Nancy Molnar. Nancy is a special education teacher and has been employed for 31 years. Nancy is the gold standard of Jeffersonville High School traditions, pride, and expectations. No one embodies the Red Devil spirit more than Nancy. Not only does she meet the needs of students in her class, she also spends countless hours after school working with student council, the Anchor Club, coordinating the Devil's Den, and more. Jonathan Jennings Elementary, Mary Harbin. Mary is a kindergarten teacher and has been employed for 7 years. Mary is a remarkable teacher that spends many hours after school preparing her students. She develops hands-on differentiated lessons that engage all students. She has been a vital member on the building leadership team and even has hosted teachers from other buildings to view her engaging routines and quality lessons. Maple Elementary, Susan Ward. Susan is a third grade teacher and has been employed for 16 years. Susan's third grade class is literally one big happy family. It is a great atmosphere to learn. She is a teacher that cares, has great class management, and helps students become great leaders. She truly embodies what teacher stands for and has a smile on her face every day. New Washington Elementary, Sarah Endler. Sarah is a third grade teacher and has been employed for 6 years. Sarah is one of the hardest working teachers we know. She takes great care in planning lessons, making sure her school day is full of meaningful learning. She is a member of many committees and always wants what's best for everyone, especially her students. New Washington Middle High School, Jill Cyphers. Jill is the media specialist. She has been employed for 17 years. Jill organizes assemblies, meetings, groups, award recognitions, and field trips for students who participate in the school-wide reading initiative that she leads. which focuses on evidence of reading the Divergent series of books. She was also featured by the Indiana Department of Education for their Pinterest Pinovation of the Month. North Haven Elementary. Christina Gritton. Christina is a third grade teacher. She's been employed for 7 years. Christina's positivity and enthusiasm are infectious to others at North Haven. She works hard every day to ensure the success of her students each day and brings new ideas to her classroom and coworkers. Parkview Middle School, Molly Riddle. Molly is a math teacher. She has been employed for 8 years. Molly is quiet in stature, but a dynamic educator in the classroom. Her students are constantly engaged with mathematics from the moment they walk in the door until they leave. She is innovative in her classroom using technology to engage and accelerate student learning. Parkwood Elementary, Kelly Pennington. Kelly is a 4th grade teacher and has been employed for 11 years. Kelly goes above and beyond in her teaching. In addition to her regular education students, she also serves special education and bilingual students with extra attention. She serves as grade level chair, organizes enrichment club programs, and spends many hours planning for all students. Pleasant Ridge Elementary, Heather Blackstone. Heather is a special education teacher and has been employed for 7 years. Heather is such a positive and energetic person. She motivates her students and fellow Pleasant Ridge staff in an effort to improve achievement. She works extremely hard to ensure that her students succeed. River Valley Middle School, Eden Kuhlenschmidt. Eden is the media specialist and has been employed for 34 years. Eden actively works with teachers to create collaborative units. She has student aides who aren't just there to help. They have assignments structured around the American Association of School Librarian Standards. Eden is an asset to the teachers, a resource to the students, and a volunteer in our community. Riverside Elementary, Sally Goss. Sally is a 1st grade teacher and has been employed 5 years. Sally is a kind and caring person and has built that same environment in her classroom. She differentiates instruction so all her students succeed and learn. She gives her lunch and planning time on a regular basis to work with students who need additional instructional time. Spring Hill Elementary, Marlene Hazuka. Marlene is an intervention teacher. She has been employed for 13 years. Marlene strives to be the best teacher she can be every day and always goes beyond what is set out in her job description. As a Reading First coach, she will visit a classroom and provide reading strategies and techniques that will enhance student learning. Thomas Jefferson Elementary, Kathy McKenzie. is a special education teacher and has been employed for 17 years. Kathy works with some of the most challenging students in the district with moderate to severe disabilities, and she recognizes the potential in all of her students. She works relentlessly in pursuit of their success. She takes students from their level of functioning and presses them to achieve academic, social, and personal growth. Utica Elementary, Lisa Miller. Lisa teaches second grade. She has been employed for 20 years. Lisa always goes the extra mile for her students and makes them feel special, valued, respected, and most importantly, smart. She takes her own time to plan and implement engaging lessons that relate to her students' lives and is very generous with her time, talent, and personal funds. Wilson Elementary, Christine Lawrence. Christine is a second grade teacher. She has been employed for 5 years. The charisma Christine brings to the classroom at Wilson is indescribable. The students in her class are constantly being pushed to the next level, and she is the epitome of a great educator. She takes time out of her schedule to help new teachers and to lead various trainings in the building.
Before Mr. Pavey comes forward and names our overall Teacher of the Year and our WHAS Excel Award winner, let's have one more round of applause for all of our Teachers of the Year.
There seems to be a common theme, above and beyond. We keep hearing that, and I think that pretty well says it all. So, again, thank you for all you do on behalf of the Board of Trustees. Greater Clark County Schools Certified Staff Member of the Year has dedicated 24 years of her life to the district. She shares her passion for arts and instills a love of art and creativity with her students. She extends students' talents out into the community by entering student work in various art contests like the Martin Luther King Jr. Poster Contest and the Walnut Ridge Ornament Contest. Kathy Greninger is a leader to her fellow art students and Kathy Greninger is a leader to her fellow art teachers and works collaboratively with them to organize the Greater Clark County Schools Student Art Show, which happens to be currently on display at the Jeffersonville Public Library. Kathy is an example of an exemplary teacher. She builds relationships with her students, learns their strengths, and capitalizes on them to support all students to their fullest potential. She is a valuable team player among the staffs at both of the schools she serves, Bridge Point Elementary and Thomas Jefferson Elementary. Congratulations to the 2014 Teacher of the Year, Kathy Greninger.
And our Excel Award winner. Congratulations, Kathy. Congratulations to everyone. Let's let's just do one more big round of applause. This has been a great evening. And to bring our evening to a close, I'm going to present Dr. Andrew Mellon, our superintendent of schools, for some closing remarks.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad that I think we may be running ahead of schedule, so my 30-minute speech will. Now, I'll try to keep it a little bit briefer than that for you tonight. What a great feel-good night for Greater Clark County Schools, right? You cannot have a great organization without great people. And this is just a demonstration of the high level of quality that we have in our school system. And it's hard to stand up here and accept that kind of honor. Everyone struggled and they were nervous, and what a great feeling, and so deserving for every single one of you that was honored this evening. And I cannot tell you how proud I am of every single one of you. And I know that is speaking on behalf of our school board and our foundation board as well. Just real quickly, again, I want to thank our sponsors. It is greatly appreciated. You know, the goal of this event was to try to bring everyone together. We did not want to charge any individual to come and attend this event because we truly wanted to honor everyone here. And so without our sponsors' support tonight, that would not have happened. So again, one more round of applause for our sponsors. We're very lucky to have a foundation board, as Mr. Ballinger pointed out. It's a significant obligation every year, $70,000 approximately per year for ACT. It's well worth it. We appreciate every single one of our foundation members, and really want to thank, especially in terms of the planning of this event, Vicki Boysaw, as a foundation board member, also Eric in his chair capacity. So if you would please, foundation board members, please stand and let's give you a round of applause. We're very lucky to have a school board that is so highly supportive of everything that we do in our school system. We would not be able to accomplish all the things that we are able to accomplish without their support. Very fortunate to have them and their leadership. I really believe that we're working extremely well as a team. And I'd like to thank our school board for their support, and in particular, Teresa Perkins for her help and assistance in coordinating this event tonight. So if you would please stand. Our administrative team, to me, is second to none. Very fortunate to have such a great group of people that are totally dedicated not only to all of our 10,000 plus students, but to our 1,400 employees. And so from the central office level to the building level, I could not ask for a better team of administrators. And if you would please, I'd like them, all of our administrators in the room, just to stand and also be recognized. Thank you. Need to again, especially, I appreciate Eric's comments earlier. Erin Bojorquez, this event would not have occurred without her leadership and commitment. We greatly appreciate that. Sandy Lewis, outstanding job emceeing the event tonight. So again, one more round of applause, please, for Erin and for Sandy. Great things are happening in the Greater Clark County schools. And that doesn't happen without having dedicated, committed, and high-performing employees and highly supportive parents and community members. That formula will continue to produce great results for our school system. We want to thank you for attending tonight, and please travel home safely. Thank you.